Yeah, so I just got my bonus. And
Lucky you.
so I just get my bonus. I try to decide what to do with the money. I don't want to just put it in the bank to earn nothing, but I don't know of any good investments.
What about government paper? My mother and my grandmother swear by them.
Government paper, was that?
I am not too sure, to be honest.
Thanks. That's helpful.
It's called government securities. Have you heard about bonds, treasury bills, treasury notes? These are all different types of government securities, or as our grandparents would say, government paper, and available for people to invest in. That's what you're talking about.
The government offers investments, right?
Government uses the money that they get from the investment to finance various projects like schools, hospitals, roads, etc. In fact, I now remember I was at a day in the shop. My father is having a liberation, and I hear a debate on Parliament about investment. Government wrote an investment plan called Investment 2035. Basically, they know all the projects they expect to accomplish between now and 2035. And I remember in there, and I thought it was in papers too, they talked about needing some financing for 11 billion. But he's a malicious fella, so I went and checked to see what they're talking about. They expect to get about 1 billion of that from people, the public, being just like you and me. How are they going to do that? They've got to offer these securities in different forms, the treasury bills, the T-bills, the bonds, that we could then invest in that. So those projects that the government determine are critical and priority for the development of the country will be financed by me and you and people investing in them. And other multilaterals, but we get to play a part in it also.
So we spending government money? Would it not add to the government debt?
Of course, it adds the government debt. But governments need to borrow in order to do these large projects. Because you don't have money up front to do. Me and you, I got a little 2x3 shot at the road. I pay in the bank for it right now. Most people that have to get a mortgage or do some large investment, even start a large business, must borrow up front. But what you want to ensure is that they're able to pay back when the project matures. So the project will earn something paying back. Now, maybe before I go back and tell you something, borrowing domestically has its advantages and disadvantages, so you have to give a mix. When you borrow domestically, when it's time to repay, it is repaid in local Barbadian dollars. So you don't have to look for foreign currency. And at the same time, local citizens get opportunity to be part of the development and pay their part without actually having to go and do the project themselves. You understand? I must add though, you can't borrow everything domestically. Because Barbados don't produce US dollars, not foreign dollars.
Right.
And every time, every dollar or $2 in Barbados is $1 US. I think you have to import goods, you gotta pay US dollars. So we want to balance, but borrowing domestically is also very important.
So what kind of return on investment you talking about?
Girl, it depends. It's got key eyes open and watch. But usually, securities are much stronger rate than you would get on a savings deposit, especially in this market right now. Let me talk real. You know what? In this market, you don't get much in banks and financial institutions. No, exactly. I think I checked the other day, the boss paying 4.5%.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know. All right,
you
someone that you don't check out these things. So, and I understand the treasury bills were like 3.5. You usually get more on these instruments than you would get on your savings. Let me tell you why. Because investment carries a little risk, yes, but usually the return is higher as related to that. And this is a good way for you, me, an average, and anyone to earn a steady return compared. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't take all your money bank. You just got to keep a little something in there for the liquidity, the emergencies.
Right.
But at the same time, the interest rate on these things are usually very good. I know now the boss bonds that the central bank is giving is 4.5%.
Wait, but tell me something. When people talk about the capital market, this is what they're talking about.
Usually, yes, in the context of our society, the capital market is the stock market, the government securities is traded there. Companies don't always borrow from banks. They might try to raise money to do their capital expenditure, and therefore they will issue a corporate paper. So not a government paper.
Stop.
Yeah, exactly, stock
Right.
apart. And that is traded on the capital market. And that is basically where you'll find longer term instruments being traded.
So, one last question. Do you have any?
Of course, girl, are you that foolish? I gotta get a little bit of bonds, a little bit of government paper, a little deposits. Listen, my future is mine and I invest in it.